Hello and welcome back to EverGuide Financial's Investor Education Series. Today we are going to talk about qualitative analysis. This is where you supplement all of the financial statement work with input from management on what is important moving forward. This will help you assess how likely the company will be to continue on its path, or also if it will reverse course for better or for worse. So today we're going to start talking about, I'll take you through an example, and we're going to actually look at Zoom video. Best way to do this, you can just take a Google search, type in your company, you can see Zoom video. You click here and it takes you to your page. Now what's interesting is a lot of the information on the website is going to be about them and about sales. Usually what you can do is scroll all the way down to the bottom. And what you'll see is there'll be these small pieces down here. And under about, there's always, if it's a public company, there should be an investor section. So you can see here, investors. Click on that, and that will take you to their investor relations page. Here, you can go ahead and navigate all of the different things that's pertinent towards investing. A lot of this, the financial information, we already talked about and went through elsewhere. But what's important, we're going to talk about two things. First off, there's almost always news and events. So there's press releases, you can get current information on press, or what we like to look at is events. So when you look at these events here, you can see that there's different events from the past. Usually there's going to be, sometimes there's a virtual conference where you can come, you can either listen to this, you can listen to a webinar, or you can go and look actually at the presentation. And these are always very, very helpful because you'll be able to pull them up. Every company has them and they do them quite frequently, especially if you can't get to them live. So you can go through, there's some statements here, but it really walks through, they'll walk through their financial performance. So you can see recognized market leader. I'm not going to go through every single one of these. They have Zoom customers because every presentation for every company is going to be different. And this is what they're putting out to the public. So they spend a lot of time to make this look good. I'm going to keep scrolling down here. You can see revenue growth, enterprise traction. And we'll get down here, international presence. So obviously that's something that they're working on. They get into some of the financials here as well. But what usually happens for every company is there's something outside of the financials that they like to work on, that they like to look at, and they like to focus on. So what we like to call that is a KPI, or key performance indicator. And it's something, again, outside of standardized financial statements that shows the health of the company. And so we'll just look at this example here for Zoom. So it says total RPO and year-over-year growth. So, RPO, what is that? What does that mean? So if you look here, it's noted one, and down here it says RPO, remaining performance obligations, consists of both billed considerations and unbilled considerations that we expect to recognize as revenue. So, okay. Again, this RPO is something that they expect to recognize as revenue. So you can see it's deferred revenue and unbilled. And it's a way for them to assess growth going forward. So it's not something that they bill on currently, but something that they expect in the going forward. So this is an area that that most investors will start to look at, especially if they have high revenue growth or it's a growth company. And there needs to be something other than sales or profits or cash flow in order to analyze this company. And this is just one example for Zoom. But you can go through and you can see cash flow growth. They'll talk about their outlook going forward. This is their questions, and they usually have something here, some type of an appendix. So we're actually going to go back from this and go back to the events page. So there's other things up here, investor overview, there's other places to get information. The next one that we're going to focus on is actually on SEC filings. And this is important because this is what they put out. Most of these you can go through and look at, but they're not going to be too concerning for you. So we can go look, 2021 just started. We'll change the filing year to 2020 and have that update. And so you can see the fours. What we want you to look at is for something called a 10Q and the 10K, because that's going to provide a lot of information. So you can see there's nothing on there here. So we'll go to the next page, and here you go. Here's the quarterly report, 10Q. So that's something that we're going to want to click on. So I already clicked on it, and we downloaded it here, and you can see that this provides a lot of information. And here's the table of contents, and there's a few places you want to look at. So item 2 here, this is management discussion and analysis. So if you click on it, it takes you here. Now, the best part about this is it gives you an overview of the company. Our mission is to make video communications frictionless and secure. Now, a lot of people know what Zoom video is, but other stocks or companies, you may not know exactly what they do. And this will give an overview of what's going on. A lot of times they'll have recent developments. So here they're talking about COVID-19. Then they get into key factors affecting their performance. So acquiring new customers, expansion of access across existing customers, innovation, and expansion of our platform. So these are things that you can go through and read, and they will explain really what's happening within the business. So you get a much better idea of the overall current position of the business and what they expect going forward. And you can always, as you read through here, so on their presentation, they talked about international expansion. And then here, they're talking about right here, international expansion. They talk about key business metrics. So these are the things that you can look at. Now, one thing to notice here, table of contents, you can click on that. That'll bring you back up. And another area that's interesting to look at. Now, there's a lot of information here. You don't have to go through all of it. But another one is risk factors. So you click on that. It takes you down and says risks relating to our business and also our industry. And here, first sentence, our business depends on our ability to attract new customers and hosts, retain and upsell products to existing customers, and upgrade free hosts to our paid offerings. Any decline in new customers or upgrades would harm our business. So again, this tells you what the potential is for harm to the business, where the risks factors are, and this gives you a lot more color between the 10K, the 10Q, any events and presentations, and quarterly calls. It will, if you use this investor website, you will get a lot more information on the company, and it will match with what you can check in what you learned in income, balance sheet, cash flow statement, ratios, valuation. So it adds to what you already know. So if you have any questions or you'd like to subscribe, please click on the link on the bottom right-hand corner. Thank you.